Hello, I'm Sonia and I welcome you back to my channel Grammar Forward. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to use present simple tense with be. Be is a unique verb, and what makes be special? We will talk about that in a minute. In our previous lesson, we already learned how to use present simple tense with other verbs. At this point, a gentle reminder, I've already done a special video on verbs. If you're new here and if you haven't watched that session yet, I recommend you to watch that. Now, coming back to our lesson, we know that verbs are of two kinds. We have main verbs and helping verbs. What are main verbs? Verbs like work, play, write, eat, drink, sleep, all of them are main verbs. And we also have helping verbs. So what are helping verbs? The name itself gives you an idea. Verbs which help the main verbs are called helping verbs. There are many helping verbs in English and 3 of them are called primary helping verbs. Which are they? We have be, have and do. And in today's lesson, we are going to focus on be. Although they are called helping verbs, don't let the name fool you in any way. They are not just helping verbs. Sometimes they also function as main verbs. That means they play a kind of double role, sometimes as helping verbs and in some occasions as main verbs. That makes them special. Now let me give you an idea of how the verb be changes when used with different subject pronouns. So this is the base form be, and here I have written the subject pronouns. You know that I is the first person singular. I'm talking about me, singular. First person plural is we. And the second person is you, whether it is singular or plural. Third person plural is they, but third person singular can be he, she or it. I hope it's clear for you. But see how be changes when it appears with different subject pronouns. With I, we say I am. We don't have be anymore, I am. We are. We is plural, so we say we are. You, whether it is singular or plural, we say you are. They again, it is third person plural, we say they are. He, she and it is singular, third person, and we say he is, she is and it is. So now you can see how many different forms be takes when it comes with different subject pronouns. We have am, is and are. Now let's look at the contractions of these positive forms. Thus, I am becomes I am. This is we are. Here it becomes you're. The same thing with they are. It's contracted here. He is becomes his. She is becomes she is. And it is becomes its. So here it's actually means it is. Moving on to the formation of negatives. We have I am as the positive, that becomes I am not. We are becomes we are not. You are becomes you are not, and so on. So basically, what are we doing here to make the negative form? You just add not with a positive and you get a negative form. But see how we have formed the contractions here. Here the contraction was I am, and here the contraction is I am not. It's the same, I am and I am not. But here it is different. Here the contraction, the short form is we are, but here it is we aren't. The contraction is happening here. The shortening is happening here. So it is we aren't. Here it is you are here, but there the short form is made by removing the O from not. So it is you aren't. Again, the same with they. We have they are not becomes they aren't. He is not becomes he isn't. She isn't. It isn't. Thus, we have already learned how to make the positive and negative form using the verb be in present simple tense. I hope you found both of them very easy. Now we are going to take up the next part, how to make questions using be in present simple tense. You know that there are two kinds of questions. One is yes or no questions and the other one is WH questions. What are yes or no questions? Questions which take yes or no as an answer. Now, you can see that here we have a sentence, I am. I said we have a sentence. Is it a sentence? Yes, it is. Although it's very short, it's a sentence because we have a verb, I and am. Am is a main verb, so it becomes a sentence. And how to make a question using that? When making questions, you just invert its order. That is, you will start with the verb am and then it is followed by the subject I. So we have I am as a positive sentence and the question is am I? You can complete in different ways. For example, I can say, am I a teacher? You can ask, am I a student? And so on. The next, we are, the question is, are we? Are we late? The next, you are becomes are you? Are you the doctor? So that's how you form a question using that. We have they are, it becomes are they? He is becomes is he? Is he sick? The next, she is becomes is she and it is becomes is it? Is it your bag? So the next is formation of WH questions. What are WH questions? Questions formed using WH words are called WH questions. Do you remember examples of WH words? We have so many of them. Who, what, which, where, when, how often, how much, how many. All of those are WH words. So how do we form WH questions? You just add the WH word in front of this question, the yes or no question, and you get WH questions. For example, I say, I am a teacher. And if I should ask a question in such a way that I have teacher as the answer, how will I frame the question? I will have to ask, who am I? Because I'm talking about being a teacher. So who am I? How did I get that? The question word who is just added here. So I got who am I? The same here. Are we? And I can add this WH word there. Where are we? The next is are you? I gave you how are you? Then are they? It can be where are they or how are they? Is he? It can be how tall is he? Is she? I just added a WH question here. Where? Where is she? And is it? What is it? You now know that the verb be is unique because it can function both as a main verb and as a helping verb. But how does it play this double role? Let me explain with the help of an example. Here you have the sentence, I am a student. In this sentence, you have I as a subject. And what is the verb? The verb is am. In the next sentence, you have he is a doctor. So here we have he as a subject and is the verb. You don't find any other verb here. So it's clear that in these sentences, am and is are main verbs. Now let's look at another pair of sentences. Here you have I am reading a book. Do you find any verb there? Yes, you find two words. You have am and reading. Reading is the main verb and am is actually the helping verb. It just supports the main verb to stand. In the next sentence you have she is sleeping now. Sleeping is the main verb and is the helping verb. Now you know how to identify the helping and the main verb in a sentence. There is something else that makes this verb be very special. To make my point clear, Let's take up some sentences as examples. So here we have the first sentence. Liz drinks coffee in the morning. In this sentence, the person who does the action is Liz. So Liz is the subject. And what does she do? She drinks coffee. So here we have the verb. And what does she drink? She drinks coffee. So here is the object. Why do we call this word coffee an object? Because coffee receives the action which is being done. So please note that in this sentence we have drink, which is a main verb. And what kind of a verb is drink? It's an action verb, because here there is a kind of physical action taking place. So please note that an action verb takes an object. Now moving on to the second sentence, Liz is happy. Here again, Liz is the subject and is the verb. A question, is the main verb or a helping verb? Indeed, it's a main verb because we don't find any other verb here. It's a main verb, but can we call this word happy an object? No, we can't. It's not an object because it's an adjective and it is used to describe the subject. Or in other words, it actually completes the subject. It adds more meaning to the subject. So we call this word a complement. Complement. Please note that this word comes with an E, not an I, and it means something which completes. So here it's clear that when you have an action verb, it takes an object, but is, which is not an action verb, cannot take an object. It has a complement following it. The same thing happens in the third sentence. Liz is an artist. Liz is a subject. Is the main verb, but it's not an action verb, and here we have a complement. And what is happening in this sentence? The words Liz and artist refer to the same person. Or I can say that this verb is used to link two nouns which refer to the same person. So we can call this word is a linking verb. Is called a linking verb. So you are learning a new term here. It's also called copula in grammar. So here we have is, drinks and is are main verbs, but drink is an action verb. On the other hand, is a linking verb. Let's now focus on the different uses of be when used in present simple tense. Most importantly, be is used to refer to states that may be permanent or temporary or habitual. So here you have two examples. She is excited. This is a temporary state. My brother is tall, and that is a permanent state. It's also used to introduce oneself. So I may say, I am Sonia. Here I use am. The form of be is am used here because I use it with I. If it is with he, we say he is Tom. It's also used to talk about age. So the question may be, how old are you? So even in the question, we use this form of be, are. And the answer is, I am 15 years old. So here we use am with I. Here in the question with you, we use are. We use be to refer to one's nationality. So you may say, he is American, or it may be expressed in a different way. You may say, they are from Germany, or he is from Germany. It's also used to refer to jobs. So you may say, I am a teacher, or she is a doctor. So this verb takes the form according to the subject that is used. Yet another use of the verb be is when we have to refer to time and date. So here we have some examples. The concert is on the 10th of May. So is a form of be. Or somebody may ask you, what time is it? And you may reply, it is 5:30 or it's 7 in the evening. It's also used to refer to where a thing or a place is located. So you may say, the books are on the shelf. You say are because we are talking about books, which is a plural subject. Or somebody may asking you about a location of a restaurant, and you may say the restaurant is at the end of the street. Now let's look at some common errors made while using the verb be in present simple tense. So here we have some sentences, and let's start with the first one. The company's profits is lower this year. Are you able to spot a mistake in the sentence? What is the subject here? Is it the company or the company's profits? It's a profits, which is a subject, and because it's plural, we have to go for a plural verb. So is should be replaced with are. So now it looks better. The company's profits are lower this year. Moving on to the second sentence, the fruits in the basket is fresh. Here again, something is wrong with the verb. Here the subject is not the basket, it is the fruits in the basket. We are talking about the fruits, not a basket. So the fruits is a plural subject. So is wrong. We have to use there are. The fruits in the basket are fresh. Moving on to the third sentence. There is some students in the class. What is the subject here? We are talking about some students. And you know that it's a plural subject, some students. So we should write there are some students in the class. But did you notice something? There's something strange about the order in the sentence. You start with there, but is there the subject? And I told you that some students is the subject and it is lying in the middle of the sentence. That's because there here is an empty subject. It's a dummy subject because the real subject is some students. And when we begin a sentence with a dummy subject, we have to look at the number of the subject, whether it is singular or plural, and we use the verb accordingly. On the other hand, if we had there space a student in the class, if we are talking about a student, we will use is. We will use is here because the subject is singular. So there can come with are or is. It depends on the number of the subject. The fourth one is John and his friend absent? You can notice that it's a question, it's a yes or no question, and the subject is not just John, it is John and his friend. So it is plural. So you should start a sentence with are. Are John and his friend absent? And here is the last sentence. You are the new manager. You can see that it's a question, but there's something wrong with the word order there. You know that in a question, you should begin with the verb. So it should be, are you the new manager? Not you are the new manager. I believe you found this lesson interesting and that you really benefited from it. If so, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And please don't forget to click the notification bell so that you will know when I upload my next video. In the comment section below, please let me know if you have any doubts regarding the topic discussed today. So see you in the next session. Goodbye until then. Take care and stay safe.